Hey guys, welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video I'm going to touch on the stage that haunts a lot of people, and that is stage 10-15. Let's dive right in. So same thing here, you can see my progression is up to 10-20. Nothing has changed. I haven't really pushed it for today. I'm probably going to try it after work. So the focus here today is on 10-15, right? So before get to 10-20, we need to come to 10-15. So let me change up the graphics like this, and now we have 10-15. So first things first, when coming on with this team, I thought of, okay, we need to include my strongest unit, which is Lindsay. So I included Lindsay, and I played around with the fairy units, can't really work. So what I did was that I popped in a I wanted to plop in a Chloe, but like I mentioned, Chloe can't survive the freaking Nicole plus the Mariam, right? Instantly, once the Chloe goes in, bam, dies, okay? Like within 5 seconds, I think 4 seconds at most, give it 4 seconds, can't even survive for long. So what I did was that I ran with a Clara instead, a Claire instead. So I noticed that the Claire goes into straight in the middle of them and then attracts a lot of attention. So even if it dies, right, because Chloe is also going to die, Claire also going to die, right? In the end, this Claire managed to survive longer than the Chloe, so I decided to go with Claire, and since it's also human, right, then I thought, okay, let's go with a full human team. To some certain extent, we can make that work, right? So I went with a Catherine as well as a let me think, Memphi. Yeah, I went with Memphi also. So 4 units human, and then the last unit, right, I wanted to have a unit to counter the Nicole, and because the Nicole was the main problem, it instantly melted my whole team. So I decided to try something new, something special, which is the Jacqueline on this slot. So looking at this team, you might be thinking, hey, Cocky Gachas, you might have rented a super OP like Jacqueline, super OP Memphi, super OP Claire, super OP Catherine, right? The answer is no. I actually went in with my own units. So we were fighting with 70k deficit. So the levels are slightly lower than this when I clear it also. So I went with 70k deficit, but the concept of this team is very simple. Jacqueline goes in diagonally, straight away attacks the Nicole. It's going to trade 1-for-1 even when my Jacqueline is only at elite and 101. I think it's level 101 or 102, but it managed to trade 1-for-1 for the Nicole and distract the Nicole, right? Most important thing, because Nicole breaks the armor of your tank, so you kind of want to distract it from your tank. And with that itself, my Claire went in and then managed to tank a few hits, like first ulti, stuff like that, and then after that it managed to die, but that doesn't really matter at that point, right? Nicole traded 1-for-1, Claire did its job, and then by then my freaking Lindsay would have 20 day stacks, and it managed to crit through the opponent's backline. And of course, the Memphi helps to amplify the damage of the Lindsay and Jacqueline as well. Also, the Catherine helps to shield and heal. So this was the basic concept for this team. But you might ask, do you really need to run Claire? And to be fair, if your units are tanky enough, right, you can run a different carry, different tank itself. You can probably run Petra. It's also going to work quite well. You do lose 5% attack and HP, but Petra is slightly more tanky. So I do see this working as well if your Petra is well leveled up, right? So it really depends, but personally I went with the Claire for the buff as well as also the 4 type bonus, and that's what exactly I did. Now on to the gameplay. You can see no lies here, right? No rented units at all. I decided to just do it myself. Don't really have to rent units if your units can clear it, right? So that's my philosophy anyways, and clearing with a weaker team also showcases the strength of this team in particular. So everything is very, very normal. Jacqueline is barely leveled up. So right here you can see Jacqueline jumps straight onto the Nicole. Very, very important, going to trade well against the Nicole. Sometimes the Jacqueline would die before the Nicole dies. So in that case, just restart and try to have the Nicole trade against the Jacqueline, right? That's very, very important. So immediately Claire dies, like I mentioned, and then the Mariam ultis my Lindsay, but it's strong enough to tank the first hit without the crit damage and crit rate nonsense that Mariam have, right, from the stacks. So next thing, the Sunni tries to attack my backline, but of course Sunni doesn't do much damage, and here we just want to ensure to heal up the team, because now you notice that what we really lack is a tank, right? The whole team doesn't have a tank, so we really need a tank to be in the backline, and that is our Lindsay. So we want to give it as much health as possible, and then instantly the Lindsay clears off the Mariam, and once the Mariam dies, right, it comes a third problem. So we only have 3 units, and the RNG factor here is that you do need to crit on your Lindsay itself so that it's able to definitely get enough like DPS, right? I think we cut it very close on this run, and we did use the Lindsay ulti. So yeah, here we did crit also. If you don't crit, try a couple more times. Yeah, and that's about it, right? I can't really talk much about the RNG factors in this game. It's what it is, right? In AFK Arena and Eversoul, same thing. So you do need RNG to go your way sometimes, but at least the concept of the team works with a minimal invested team. So the only strong unit here is the Lindsay. So if you don't have a Lindsay, you can rent a Lindsay. It's really up to you, but yeah. Personally, this is what I ran with, and it works pretty well. 2 seconds, cutting it super close, but at least we managed to clear without any rental units and not using VV also, so don't talk to me about the VV fix. And here, these are the stats. So Lindsay doing 700k damage, and Jacqueline managed to clear for 277k damage. That's about it. And that about does it for the review for stage 10-15. I hope you guys benefited from this stage review and managed to pass 10-15. Right? Let me know in the comment section that you did pass it so that I can congratulate you guys onto the next hellhole, right? But if you guys are also interested, check out this video over here where I touch on my personal 7-day progress report as a free-to-play player, how far I've progressed, and my personal strategy and my thoughts on the game itself. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.